ओके डियर स्टूडेंट्स, अब चलते हैं मैग्नेटिज्म, मैग्नेट्स एंड आर्ट्स मैग्नेटिज्म एज इट इज गिवन इन योर बुक. Lesson 4 is a small theory derivation, and what we'll be finding out to find the magnetic field B on the equatorial line of a bar magnet. A bar magnet has two poles, therefore it is called a dipole. Two poles, dipoles. A similar derivation you had we had discussed in electrostatics, and what was that? To find the electric field on the equatorial line of an electric dipole. Now instead of an electric dipole, we have a magnetic dipole. A magnetic dipole means a bar magnet having two poles, south pole, north pole, both having the same pole strength M and M, small m and small m. In electrostatics, this was minus Q, this was plus Q, right? So here is a bar magnet. Let me explain you the diagram first. This is a bar magnet. This is the south pole, this is the north pole. As you already know, the length of the magnet is from this point to this point, that is the physical length. But the magnetic length is actually between the south pole and the north pole, or between the north pole and the south pole, which is less than the geometrical length, right? So let the length of the magnetic length of this bar magnet from south to north is L plus L2L. So O is the midpoint of south pole and the north pole. From here I have drawn a perpendicular bisector from the point O. Therefore this y-axis, which is the perpendicular bisector of this line, is called the equatorial line. This is the point P where I am interested to find out the net magnetic field due to these two poles, this pole as well as this pole, that is as a whole due to the magnetic dipole. So what I have to do is I have to keep a unit north pole here and find out what is the net force on it. This unit north pole will be repelled by this north pole. As we know, two similar poles repel, and this unit north pole will be attracted by this south pole to this side, and this unit north pole will be repelled to this side, right? The moment you put a unit north pole, the force of repulsion, for example, north pole and north pole, the force of repulsion will be called the magnetic field due to this north pole having pole strength M. This north pole will be attracted by this south pole to this side. Since it is a unit north pole, instead of saying force, we'll say the magnetic field, that will be P2, right? So let us now discuss. Let 2L is equal to magnetic length of a bar magnet. From here to L, from here, that is between the point S and N, this distance is 2L, is the magnetic length of a bar magnet, Ns, and which I have already told you in previous lessons. The magnetic length, that is between the length between the south pole and the north pole, is actually less than the geometrical length, but that is between this point and this point. And let small m is equal to pole strength of each pole. Means this south pole has a pole strength small m, this north pole has a pole strength m. O is the midpoint between south and north. O is the midpoint between south and north. So this distance from here to here is L, from O to N is also L. So that is what I am explaining. So SO, from S to O and from O to N is L. Now P is a point on the equatorial line such that OP is equal to R. Now, since this line is a perpendicular bisector, if you join P with S and P with N, PS will be equal to PN. So, that is same thing as SP will be equal to NP. From S to P will be equal to from N to P, the distance. And how much will be that? From here to this point is L, from here to this point is R, and it is 90 degree here. So, we apply Pythagoras theorem. So, your So your ASP is the hypotenuse and NP is also the hypotenuse. So it will be square of the base, square of the perpendicular, and square root of that. That is equal to R square plus L square, a square root of that. That is the distance P, SP or NS. Both are equal to R square plus L square, square root of that. Now, to find a field here, keep a unit north pole at P. In electrostatics, we were keeping a unit positive charge to find the field. In magnetism, we'll put a unit north pole to find the field. So, let B1, this north pole will repel this north pole to this side. So, let B1 is the magnetic field at P. B1, here is B1, is the magnetic field at P due to this north pole having a pole strength of small m. So magnetic field at P due to the north pole of a pole strength m, it is along PL. It is along PL. It is along PL because this is a north pole, this is a unit north pole, so it will be. So this north pole will push this north pole like this. Of course, this unit north pole will push this magnet down. But we are interested to find the field due to this bar magnet at this point. So we don't have to move this magnet. We have to keep it fixed. Now, similarly, let B2. Let B2 is the magnetic field at point P due to the south pole. This is south pole having a pole strength m will attract this unit north pole to this side. And since it is a unit north pole, the force of attraction, instead of saying the force, we have to say the magnetic field. And let it be B2. So B2 is the magnetic field at P due to the south pole of pole strength m. It is along PM. It is along PM. Because it is a force of attraction, this B1 is to this side because it is a force of B1 is to this side due to this north pole, it is a repulsion. B2 is to this side because it is a force of attraction between this south pole and the unit north pole here. Now, therefore, using Coulomb's law in magnetism, Coulomb's law in magnetism was the force was equal to mu naught over 4 pi m1 m2 divided by the distance square, where m1 and m2 was the pole strength of two different poles, r was the distance between them. Here one of the pole strength, let's say m2 is unity, and the other pole strength m1 is m. So your B1, the pole strength, the magnetic field at this point due to the north pole of pole strength m, the distance we know from here to here is r square plus L square, square root of that. So your B1 will be mu naught over 4 pi using this relation. For M1 I put m, that is the pole strength of the north pole. For M2 I put 1 because I have kept a unit north pole at P. So that is equal to 1 divided by the square of the distance, and the square of the distance is from N to P is the distance. So N to P is the distance, so it is NP square. So that is equal to mu naught over 4 pi m into 1 m divided by NP square. And NP I just explained, from N to P it's same thing as from S to N is equal to R square plus L square, square root of that. And here we have, here we have NP square. So that is a square of this, that is square of this. So this square root goes. So we are left with R square plus L square. Similarly B2, that is the magnetic field here due to the south pole. The pole strength of this is small m, the pole strength of this is unity because I have kept a unit north pole here. Unit means magnitude is 1, and the distance we know from here to here is also R square plus L square, square root of that. So So using this same expression, that is Coulomb's law in magnetism, mu naught over 4 pi m into 1 over sp square, mu naught over 4 pi m divided by r square plus l square. So these are the two magnetic fields, one due to the north pole here and one due to the south pole here. Due to north pole it is along PL, due to the south pole it is along PM. Now is interesting. Now little geometry, then it is very simple. Now let angle PSO, PSO, that is this angle is theta, and angle PNO will also be theta because this y-axis is the perpendicular direction. Therefore, angle PSO is equal to PNO is equal to theta. The reason I have explained, because OB is the perpendicular bisector of the bar magnet. Therefore, angle LPX dash plus is equal to angle MPX dash is equal to theta. Let me explain this. LPX dash. Look, LPX dash. LPX dash. This angle is theta because this angle is theta. This line is parallel to this line. So this angle is equal to this angle because they are they are corresponding angles. So if this is theta, this is also theta, therefore this is also theta. Then let me explain why the angle MPX dash is also theta. MPX dash. Now let us look at MP MPX dash, x dash to this side, to the negative x-axis. This angle is theta because this is, we have taken theta. This is also theta because this is the perpendicular bisector. This line P x dash is parallel to this line and this is the transversal. So if this angle is theta, this is also theta because alternate angle. So that is what I explained. Both the angles are theta. Now if you look at the value of B1 and the value of B2, means the magnitude of B1 and B2, they are equal. Look at it here. Look at it here. B1 is this much and B2 is also this much. The magnitudes are same. Now is interesting. Now B1 sin theta cancels with B2 sin theta being equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. Let me explain that in the diagram. So this is your B1. From here to here is B1. From here to here is B1. That is the magnetic field here due to this north pole. So this B1 can be resolved into two rectangular components, one to this side, one to this side. This B1, which is like this, can be resolved like this. Since this angle is theta, so this will be equal to your B1 cos theta, this will be equal to your B1 sin theta. Now, if you look at B2, that is the magnetic field at the point P due to the south pole, B2 is this way. B2 is this way. And this is one component, rectangular component, this is theta, therefore this will be equal to your B2 cos theta and this will be equal to your B2 sin theta. So what do you conclude? B1 sin theta is to this side, B2 sin theta is to this side, they are opposite. Same theta, so sin theta is same and magnitude of B1 is equal to B2. Therefore, B1 sin theta cancels with B2 sin theta. And B1 cos theta and B2 cos theta, both are in the same direction. B1 cos theta, B2 cos theta, both are in the same direction. And we know when two vectors are in the same direction, the resultant is just the arithmetic sum of these two. Means if this is 5 Newton and this is also 5 Newton, the resultant will be 5 plus 5. Towards this side will be equal to 10 Newton. So that is what I have explained here. So that is what I have explained here. B1 sine theta cancels with B2 sine theta because they are equal in magnitude, because the magnitude of B1 is magnitude of B2, and sine theta, this sine theta is same thing as this sine theta. They are opposite in direction, means angle between them is 180 degree, therefore they cancel. Now, B1 cos theta and B2 cos theta are in the same direction. That is the negative negative x-axis. To this side is B1 cos theta, to this side is also B2 cos theta. Both are in the negative x-axis, so they are added. So your net field at P is B1 cos theta plus B2 cos theta. Now, this is your B1 which I derived. This is your B2 which I also derived. Both are equal in magnitude. Cos theta here, cos theta here. So this becomes 2 times mu naught by 4 pi m over r square plus l square cos theta. Now let us find out how much is cos theta from the right angle triangle. Now either you look at this triangle PSO or PNS. This angle is theta. So the side in front of the angle, that is from P to O, is a perpendicular, from S to O is the base. So cos theta will be base over hypotenuse, that is L over this distance. This distance is r square plus L square, square root of that. So cos theta will be L over this distance. So cos theta, so your cos theta is equal to L over that distance. So what happens is, now you write these two, this M and this L together here. This mu naught by 4 pi remains same thing as here. So 2ml, and I explained in this in the previous videos, this is same thing as pole strength into length of the magnetic length, and this was called your magnetic moment M, and it was pointing from south to the north. So this can be replaced by a symbol small m. So your net field B is mu naught over 4 pi m over r square plus L square to the power 3 by 2. Why it is 3 by 2? Here is r square plus L square, power is 1. Here is r square plus L square, power is 1 by 2. Its power is 1, its power is 1 by 2. So 1 plus 1 by 2, that is same thing as 3 by 2. And it is opposite to the direction of M. So for a bar magnet, that is same thing as a magnetic dipole, from here at a perpendicular distance r, here the net magnetic field 2 is to this side. Its magnetic moment is to this side, and the net field is to this side. So what is the angle between them? Is 180 degree. So it is opposite to the direction of the magnetic moment. Now then the question is, if the bar magnet is very, very small, if the bar magnet is very small, very short, means L is very, very less than R, means the point of observation is far off, but the length of the magnet is small. So in comparison, so L is very, very less than R, so L can be neglected. So in this expression, if you neglect L, this part is gone. R square to the power 3 by 2, 2 to cancel, so R cube. So we are left with R cube. So if you neglect L, your B becomes mu naught over 4 pi m over R cube. Mu naught over 4 pi is a constant. Magnetic moment for a given magnet is constant because M was equal to pole strength into 2L. So from this, constant. So B is proportional to 1 by R cube. A similar derivation we had derived in electrostatics for a short electric dipole, and when we are finding the electric field on the equatorial line. Therefore, for a short magnet, that is B is proportional to 1 by R cube. The same expression for a short magnet, I repeat, for a short magnet, in the previous lesson, I derived B is proportional to 1 by R cube on the axial line. And on the equatorial line also now I derived B is proportional to 1 by R cube. As far as proportionality is concerned, In both the cases, B is proportional to 1 by R cube, B is proportional to 1 by R cube. But that does not mean they are equal. If you look at the final expression of B axial and B equatorial for a short magnet, this is equal to 2 times this. This is equal to 2 times this. If you listen to the previous lesson, this B axial for a short bar magnet was derived as mu naught over 4 pi 2m over R cube. And we just derived for a short bar magnet, for a short one, means when L is very, very less than R. We derived B is equal to mu naught over 4 pi m over R cube. This was your axial, this was your equatorial. Now look at this and look at this. This is 2 times this. So B axial for a short bar magnet is 2 times the B equatorial of a is 2 times the B equatorial for a short magnet, right?